Dr. Shana.
Dr. Shana Lewis.
Dr. Shana D. Lewis.
Dr. Shana Lewis.
Oh, Dr. Shana D. Lewis.
All right, family. Welcome back to the Power Room. Listen, welcome back to episode number 2 of Power Moves with Dr. Shana. You are entering the Power Room, and in this room, we are going to talk about all of the moves you need to make to leverage your genius and finally get paid what you are worth in life and business. And we're not just talking about money, y'all. We talking about all of the things. So I'm super excited to be back for yet another episode. We had an amazing time, episode 1. It was my birthday celebration as well, but back for week number 2. So today we're going to dive into some other concepts around these amazing power moves. Well, first though, I want to talk more about what power moves really are, right? I believe that too often we hear concepts, but we don't really understand fully what they actually mean and how we can apply them to our own life and business. So we're going to do a little bit of that diving today, and then we're going to have a conversation around what are the potential power moves that you can make in your life for sure. And then we'll tiptoe into the business, because which is what I understand, y'all. If your life is a mess, your business is a mess. And so if we don't make power moves first in our world, then whatever we do in our business is not going to make any sense. Y'all with me? And so we're going to deal with it, right? This podcast is about dealing with the real things that become the real issues that we need to understand as business owners, entrepreneurs, or leaders, experts in our various spaces, that we must understand in order to progress and truly level up and meet each other at the top. Okay. And so we're going to deal with that today. I want you to think about power moves in a way that makes you think of something that's really strong. It may feel aggressive, like, like power. Might be. It may even feel a little bit radical. And those of you who have been following me in the wellness world, you know I'm here for some radical moves. And I believe that it may be an opportunity for many of us on this side of the house to make some power moves that may feel a little radical. Okay. And when I say radical, I mean it feels or it goes in opposition to what the norm might be. It goes in opposition of what other people may ask of you or think you should do. Because at the end of the day, everybody got an opinion, right? Yeah. But you get to decide which opinions matter the most to you. You get to choose if you go by what other people say or you create your own rule book and guidebook on this thing called life. Okay. And so we're going to deal with some of those things today. So we're talking about making potentially radical power moves, not just in your business, but with yourself. And we're going to talk about what some of those may look like before we even get into the business of all of this. Okay. In my work as a mental health expert, I've worked with so many people, high level folks, corporate folks, entrepreneurs as well too. And I just really found what I said earlier to be very true, that when our thoughts, our emotional selves, our personal lives, our worlds are in shambles, your business can't help but be a reflection of that whom you actually are. And so it becomes critically important for you to show up and take care of yourself before you can go forth and take care of a whole business. Fair enough? All right. So here we go. I want you to think about one of the very first areas of power moves that you gotta make is with yourself as it relates to your health. Okay. So one of my areas of expertise is executive wellness coaching. So we're going to spend just a few minutes in that space because I really want us to think about How are we taking care of ourselves as business owners, leaders, entrepreneurs, whatever the case may be, as our experts or practitioners? Are you taking care of yourself well? I want you to think about a few things. I wrote some things down here that I want us to really think about today. Now, one of the most important things, and this, I have a girlfriend of mine, a couple of them actually, who are experts in this space, and they say often, how much sleep are you getting, Dr. Shana? What does that look like? Because part of what I have come to understand is that sleep, my expert friends, my leader friends in these streets, is such an important tool, and I'm gonna call it a tool that we can use that absolutely will increase our productivity in our businesses. Now, on average, they say, I'm saying what medicine says, that we need to get about 7 to 9. I'm just saying on average, 7 to 9 hours of sleep. Just think about how much sleep you're getting on an average every night. This is something for me, honestly, and I'm telling you, this is a truth room for me as well, too. That is something that I continuously have to be conscious about working on, right? Because as entrepreneurs, as business folks and leaders, we can find ourselves completely wrapped up in work, lose total track of time, and not even know what happened, right? So some might even call it workaholic, where you just get so drawn into work and you forget about the rest of life. It's not good, folks. It ain't healthy. Our brains have shut off at a point and we are truly just working on fumes. Okay. So sleep becomes a thing. And so I want you to think about, how can I find a way to get better sleep as a power move? Okay. It is, because the result of that move will truly affect the rest of your trajectory of your business. Now, I will tell you this, one of the secrets that I was given by one of my sleep expert friends was taking a 26-minute nap. Like, I know you may be thinking, what in the world? Why would we go to sleep 26 minutes? But there is a study done by NASA that reports that the 26-minute nap 3 times a week increases our productivity, our creativity, and all of the other things that we need to truly run big businesses. So if you're thinking to yourself, a nap does all that? Yes. When was the last time you actually took a nap at work? And I ain't saying don't go back after the nap, okay? Those are Dr. Shady said, I'm supposed to take a nap. Yeah, and you don't wake up. Whether you work for somebody else or you work for yourself, taking some naps can be powerful. It is a power move, I promise you. I remember in the pandemic, I did a lot of that because I was so exhausted. But even now, a nap can be extremely helpful. And if there's a creative block that's happening or something of the sort, a nap is a powerful tool to use to get back on track. Okay, so that's your first power move, is sleep. Here's another one. Now, I'm being messy for my sisters out here, and I know y'all got the same problem I got, and it may just be us and nobody else in this planet. But exercise, I know you're thinking, Dr. Shana, really? Part of my business plan needs to be exercised? Yes, ma'am, and yes, sir. We need to get moving because our bodies in motion also helps us in our productivity, creativity, and reduces the stress that we all feel as business owners, entrepreneurs, and leaders. So if you're in a space, you're an expert and you are working, 9, 10 hours, 12 hours a day, and you have no real exercise or movement to expel all of that work, then you're really leading a sedentary life. And so that turns against you in a whole lot of ways. So we really got to get moving. So I want us to begin thinking about exercise as a true power move. Okay. And I'm not saying you have to do 30, an hour worth of exercise every day. Now I'm gonna go back to medicine. I got a whole lot of expert friends that teach me a whole lot of stuff, and I'm gonna give you all of what they've taught me right here in this podcast. And it's really, medicine would say, 150 minutes of aerobic, high intensity, and impact activity a week, as long as there's no medical reason why you can't do those things, is very healthy. So I want you to think about, when was the last time you actually exercised for longer, than 2 minutes, right? And I know some of you are saying, I just don't have the time in my schedule right now. It sounds good as a power move, but how can I really make that happen? I got you. So look for 7-minute workouts on YouTube right here. They are powerful. I did those workouts for a long time to get myself back into the groove of things, of exercise, and they're power moves. I'm telling you, it may seem simple, but it is definitely something that's going to help you grow for sure. All right. So, two other things under the self category that I want to think about as power moves. Boundaries, right? We talk about boundaries, and often we talk about boundaries as they relate to other people. But what I want you to think about is boundaries are actually related to us, and rules are the things that apply to other people. So, for yourself, boundaries are the things that are expectations, values, or things that are important to you. So if we go back to sleep and rest, if a boundary for you is that you must and you're going to protect your 7 to 9 hours of sleep, it means people can't call you and ask you to do anything at 10 o'clock at night and you know you're going to bed at 10:30. It's not possible. You put your phone on do not disturb or whatever the case may be. It means that if you work in a leadership position and you work in a day job right now, and you is a boundary is you want to leave work at 5 o'clock so you can get home and take care of the other things you need to make sure that you get the rest that you require and not be up late and out and those things. You can't. The rule is you can't bring me a work assignment at 4:45 and expect me to get it done if it takes longer than 5 minutes. I'm not doing it. Y'all, that's a power move. So too often we actually don't leverage again these components of who we are, and create the power moves that are going to give us the outcome that we want. So I want you to think about those boundaries you have for yourself that turn into the rules you have for other people that become the most powerful moves you can make for you to increase your business, and your life outcomes. I promise you. And then the last area of self is going to be organization, right? Now, I'm talking about life organization first, business organization second. So if you have a life that is extremely chaotic and there are no systems in place, there are no um, automations in place. I'm talking about for regular life, things that are expectations. There's no plans in place. There's going to be a struggle for you to create a business that allows you, my friend, to operate well. So I want you to begin thinking about how can I organize my world in such a way, that my business can operate organized as well. Okay. So if I don't know if you're a single person, you may be coupled, you may have children, you may work, 40 hours a week, whatever the case may be. When was the last time you put a schedule together every week for your tasks that you need to do? Not necessarily just work tasks, but just day-to-day tasks. When was the last time? There's an entire lesson that I do around this whole idea of blocking out time and scheduling ourselves a week in advance. And we can do a whole separate session on that actually, but it's powerful. Mercy. It's so powerful when you have organized your day, you have organized your week. So you, my friend, have an expectation for what's supposed to happen next, right? And you're not sitting in a space of being completely surprised when nothing works out because you hadn't planned for anything, right? So when you organize your world by creating to-do lists and weekly schedules and things of the sort, there's tons of apps for that as well too. Other things you can use to leverage to help you function properly. Your world will function so much better, and it will make room for you to show up in power as the boss that you are. It's going to be a struggle for you to actually organize, or not necessarily organize. I will say the next area of power moves is going to be with relationships. Let's think about relationships. I want you to think about the people who you have relationships with. Here's the thing, because I know I'm guilty of this a lot of times. I have been, and I want us to all be in a space of being reflective of ourselves as we're going through this together, and thinking about where am I in this space. And so many of us can work so hard. This is the whole reason why I'm having this podcast in the first place. It's because we work excessively hard and we don't get the outcomes that we're hoping for. It doesn't mean you didn't make any money, but it may mean that you sacrificed your entire family for you to make that money. That's not a power move, my friends. It's not. The power move is I can work effectively and still make money, still generate what I need as far as revenue and collaborations and connections, whatever the case may be. And I have an intact relationship with the people that I love and I care about. Because I'm going to tell you the truth, it ain't nothing worth anything amount of money in the world to have all of the money in the world and then not have your family, people who you love. It's just for what? Because you won't even be able to enjoy the money that you've made. You won't be able to enjoy the things that you've built because you've missed out on one of the most important things in your world. So, what I'm asking us to think about as this power move is how can I be intentional about cultivating the relationships that matter to me? How can I be intentional? Thinking about intention and cultivation. What am I saying, Dr. Shana? What I'm saying is maybe there's some folks that you need to stop and intentionally talk to, call, text, set dates with, to spend time with, and be on purpose about it. Maybe you say once a month, we're going to do XYZ. Maybe every Thursday night, we're going to do this. I don't know what it looks like for your world, but I just want to place this on your heart and your mind because I know how this is. I'm telling you, I have been in this space. And when you find yourself totally overwhelmed or drawn, in a sense, not, let me see, overwhelmed or buried in work, and you've paid no attention to the people that you actually love, you will lose the thing that you said you were working for in the first place. Yeah, I said it. You will lose the thing that you said you were working for in the first place. And my question for you is, would it have been worth it? Would it would it have been worth it if you lost the thing that you were working for? I'm gonna say, nah, it wasn't worth it. It couldn't have been, because you can have all of that and then not have anything else. It's not worth it. So let's think about what intention can look like as it relates to really cultivating the relationships we want with the people that we love. Seriously. Um, and that includes a spiritual relationship too. So I'm saying people that we love. Those of you who know me, you know that I love God and I believe I'm his favorite child. I'll fight you about that one. But understand that if I want to have a relationship with him, I have to show up with intention and cultivate it. Right? It's the same thing as I would need to do with people who are here in the flesh. So let's not separate relationship when I say that to only flesh relationships, and whatever your spirit or spiritual world looks like, you have to cultivate that. You have to connect and you have to create a relationship. Um, and then the last piece or space of power moves, I just want to give us three areas to think about. Is in our business, and we won't go into every single one of these because clearly this entire podcast is all about this. But I want to share with you one of the things that I think is extremely powerful in our businesses, and it is called evaluation of where you are. So I've had lots of mentors, and one of my mentors has said to me repeatedly, if you don't know where you are, you don't know where you're going. Do you know what your numbers are? Where are you? What's the ROI? What's the this? What's the that? What's the conversion rate? What's the da 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 da? And all of these things, it's like, whoa, okay. There's a lot of things that I did not know. And so if you're thinking to yourself, well, Dr. Shana, I have a business, I'm doing fairly well. Have you actually sat down to evaluate where you actually are by knowing your actual numbers? That's my question for you. It's a power move, folks, when we understand where we actually are. Whether that is financially, whether that is organizationally, where that is in our outcomes in our business, we got to know those things. Okay. And so when we do not know those things, I can tell you what happens. You will be working excessively hard and not getting anywhere. You might think you're moving in a place going forward, but you're running real hard in place going nowhere. And you'll get frustrated. You'll be burnt out and stressed out. And none of that is what we want if we want to show up in power. So if you think about evaluation of your business as a power move, let it be so. It's a powerful, powerful, powerful move for all of us. Your business, your career, you insert whatever it is where you are in your world. You're an expert and you may be showing up in a lot of spaces and places, but whatever space or place you show up in, okay? So that's self. Um, said to me repeatedly, if you don't know where you are, you don't know where you're going. Do you know what your numbers are? Where are you? What's the ROI? What's the this? What's the that? What's the conversion rate? What's the da 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 da? And all of these things, it's like, whoa, okay. There's a lot of things that I did not know. And so if you're thinking to yourself, well, Dr. Shane, I have a business, I'm doing fairly well. Have you actually sat down to evaluate where you actually are by knowing your actual numbers? That's my question for you. It's a power move, folks, when we understand where we actually are. Whether that is financially, whether that is organizationally, where that is in our outcomes in our business, we got to know those things. Okay. And so when we do not know those things, I can tell you what happens. You will be working excessively hard and not getting anywhere. You might think you're moving in a place going forward, but you're running real hard in place going nowhere. And you'll get frustrated. You'll be burnt out and stressed out. And none of that is what we want if we want to show up in power. So if you think about evaluation of your business as a power move, let it be so. It's a powerful, powerful, powerful move for all of us. Your business, your career, you insert whatever it is where you are in your world. You're an expert and you may be showing up in a lot of spaces and places, but whatever space or place you show up in, if you have not evaluated what exactly or where you are exactly, then you've missed something very important. Okay. So it becomes a power move that maybe you didn't even know you needed. Seriously. And so, attached to this video is also going to be a resource for you to be able to make that power move. And well, I'll come back. All right, so I'm going to recap the power moves that we talked about today. The first one, power move, is for yourself as it relates to your health. We talked about rest, sleep, exercise, boundaries, and organization. That's just a few, folks. There's so many more, but those are just the ones I wanted to give us in this episode. Number two, power move is relationships, being intentional to cultivate the relationships that you want to have in your world. Okay. Because what I know that we are not made to be out here by ourselves. We are human and we are designed to be in connection and relationship in healthy ways to other people. So let's make sure we cultivate those and don't let our work overshadow that and put us in a position where we are not connected to our loved ones and people who matter to us. And number three, a power move is in your career or business is evaluation of your current situation or circumstance. When was the last time you took a look, family? When was the last time you evaluated all of the things about your business or your career to determine, is it working? Is it not working? Is it going the way it needs to go? If you haven't, then here's your opportunity to do so. So I've gifted you three power moves that you can make right now in order to leverage your genius and finally get paid what you are worth in life and in business. The reality is you get out what you put in. Hello. So we want to make sure we're putting in this work on this front side so we can get out on the back side what we're looking for. All right. And so I want you also, as I'm giving you these things to think about as these three power moves, I want you to already think about the objections that your brain is going to give you when you even begin thinking about them. The brain is going to tell you, oh, no, we ain't got time for that. Oh, no, we're not doing that. Oh, no, we tried that and it didn't work. Go ahead and have an answer for her, right? Every episode, we're going to have power move affirmations. And this affirmation is going to be the affirmation you're going to want to add to your arsenal that's going to allow you to give your brain an answer when it tries to hijack the changes you're trying to make right now. So, the power move affirmation for today is I am empowered to make the moves needed for the outcomes that I desire. I am empowered to make the moves needed to have the outcomes that I desire. So, family, the world that you want, the life that you desire is literally only waiting on you to make the right or next power move. So, I'm hopeful that in this episode, there's something that stuck out to you, something that rings true for you, that you will begin to embrace and integrate over the next coming week until we meet again. Know that you can, know that you will, know that you must, because the next power move is yours. Until next time, go make those power moves. Amen.